Okay, good morning. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So, tonight we're going to do the book review of The Psychology of Money. With This book review is prepared as part of the corporate finance course facilitated by Prof. Roy. So, we are here group four. We have it's me and Rio in the group, and we have Pa Lukman, we have Pa Mateo, Mbak Medina, and also Pa Weki. So we are student of IPMI International Business School. We are EMBA, Executive Master of Business Administration. So this book, the title is Psychology of Money, written by Morgan Housel. So we will present it to you around last around 5 or 10 minutes. And the next part, I'm going to tell you about why should you read this book, because this book elaborates more about human interaction with money. So it's all about that, because you know that people think that they made the decision is based on the math-based logic or financial reports, but actually it's not. People made financial decisions. It's based on their feelings. So it's feeling-based financial decisions. Sometimes they make decisions. It's on the dining table or in the meeting room when they feel happy or when they feel sad. So that's the way actually people make decision. And Carl Housel will be presenting you 19 short stories, which will be simplified in 3 main points. The next point will be presented by my colleague.
So, first, managing money doesn't have to be smart. The genius who lose their cool in managing their finance will have a fatal consequences. On the other hand, an ordinary person or normal person who does not have a financial background can become rich if they have certain behavioral characteristics about money. This has nothing to do with intelligence. There is an existing example. Ronald James Reed is a gas station janitor and a philanthropist in the United States. Ronald lived a simple life, saved up regularly, and at the end of his life, he was able to collect $8 million. The majority of his wealth is then donated to local hospitals and libraries. And the second story is from a man named Richard Fuscon. He is a Harvard graduate and an executive at an investment management company called Merrill Lynch. Throughout his life, he was in great debt and lived a very extravagant life. Until finally bad luck arrived during the 2008 financial crisis. This incident forced Richard to declare bankrupt. The difference in the fate of the two people is not due to a person's intellectual level, but based on how they behave about money. Ronald lived a simple life and managed his money well, while Richard lived a greedy and extravagant life. Financial success is not a rigid science, but rather soft skill where your behavior about money is more important than how much you know about money. The experience we have so far has greatly influenced our judgment about money. There is an interesting example. People born in the 1950s and 1970s have a different view of the United States stock market. For people born in the 1950s, they felt for themselves how small the returns on the stock market in the 1960s until 1970, because at that time, the average yield was only 1 digit. Meanwhile, people born in the 1970s have a different perception. They saw the stock market in a rising state in the 1980s and 1990s. This is what makes people born in the 1970s have a more positive perception of the stock market than people born in the 1950s. This example proves that we cannot forget the importance of one's personal experience in making a decision.
Yeah,
Next, the second one is the unique facts about money. So there is an interesting story between two writers. His name is Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller, who were at a billionaire's party. So Kurt told Joseph that the billionaire's income in a day was greater than all of Joseph's income from his most popular novel. Joseph replied, "Yes, but he had something that the billionaire could not have, that is the feeling of content. We have a habit of comparing ourselves with others. It is an endless process, and there will always be people above us. It is like there will be a sky above the sky. Most importantly, we must know the feeling of content. This means that we avoid actions that in turn makes us sorry. For example, like the story of Bernie Madoff, he is the biggest Ponzi convict in history. The fraud lasted 17 years and involved thousands of investors with an investment of billions of dollars. This is an example of a case where a person doesn't know the feeling of content. They lead themselves into abyss because they are greedy and don't know when to stop. We need to understand many things in the world are not worth the risk. For example, pursuing wealth. We actually have the risk of losing our reputation, freedom, friends, family, and so on. Another unique fact is that wealth is something you don't see. For example, like this. When someone drives a car worth 1 billion, maybe that person is rich. However, the fact that you know about his wealth is that he already spent 1 billion to buy a car. Morgan reminds us that actually when people say that they want to be billionaires, what they really mean is that they want to spend billions of money. They simply want a glamorous lifestyle. However, this logic counters to being a billionaire. Morgan gave us an example that there is a fundamental difference between wealth and rich. Maybe in Indonesian, both of them mean rich. However, there are fundamental difference between the two. Rich is a person who lives in a big house and rides in luxury cars. People with big income are rich. They show that they are rich. However, wealth is different. Wealth is hidden. Wealth is income that is saved, not what is spent. So, what we actually see is rich, not wealth. Maybe there are people who look rich, but are actually deep in debt. However, there are also people who give great wealth, but they just don't look rich. Next.
Okay, now we are talking about the third one. Maintaining wealth is not the same as building wealth. There are many ways to acquire wealth, but according to Morgan in this book, there is only one way to stay rich, which is a combination of living modesty and having fear. Acquiring wealth and maintaining wealth have a different approaches. In obtaining wealth, you need to take risks and to be optimistic. Meanwhile, in maintaining wealth, you need a mindset that 180 degrees contradictory, that is, you must be modest and fear that what we accumulated today over the years can disappear in an instant. That is why we have to have the survival mindset in maintaining the wealth. First, we have to have the strong financial condition, when we must have good money management, and for example, how much we do the conservative investment and how much we do for the aggressive investment. And this division must be clear and well observed. That is, so we have to be able to enjoy good financial condition in the long term. Second one, the plans that we put together may not be happen. A good plans should have the second option if the first option doesn't work. So a venture capitalist named Michael Moritz once said that we cannot assume what tomorrow will be like yesterday, but we cannot assume that yesterday's success will generate wealth in the future. And third one, optimistic but also be afraid. because maybe for some people this is quite confusing, but the essence is what we must be optimistic about the future, but we can feel paranoid about the obstacles. Of course, we emphasize that you must always be careful and vigilant in maintaining your wealth. There is a simple fact that people rarely understand about the great Warren Buffett wealth. He's not only a great investor, but he's been a great investor for 75 years, more than 75 years. And this is the secret, that his financial success does not come from looking for the highest return, but how that you can relatively have a good returns in long term. This is what ultimately makes the compound effect rolls very fast, and the mindset that we should have the accumulating wealth. Next.
So our conclusion is that overall, the psychology of money is an essential read for anyone who would like to have a better relationship with money. Instead of focusing on the building a financial plan, you'll be poised to make the mental decision that most often lead to future financial success. Because doing well with money has a little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave. I guess that is all from us. I hope it will be useful for your future. Thank you very much and good morning. Bye-bye.
Morning. Bye. Thank you
Bye.
for
Bye.
listening.